Hi everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're having a nice day. We are progressing quite nicely with our Tilemap world. I think you have the basic gist of it. Congratulate yourselves. Essentially all you have to do is create these seamless tiles in Krita and then import them into Inkscape and then use Inkscape to lay them out like that. However, the Tilemap world is a little bit boring right now. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to create some more tiles, which are also going to be seamless, and it's going to make the world a lot more interesting and elaborate. So we're going to create a new center tile, which is also going to be seamless. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to create these vines. The vines we can lay out on top of these cliff face tiles. And that's quite an efficient way to increase the complexity of our world. So let's get started. So let's go back to Krita. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this central tile. And I'm going to rename the new layer. Make sure that the other layers are also invisible. I'm going to only keep the background layer on. And I'm going to erase the center part of this tile. Make sure not to erase anything in the edges because we want to ensure that it stays seamless. And then fill up the part I just erased with an alternative. Since all four edges are still the same as what they were, the tile will continue to be seamless, not only with itself, but also with the other rockface tiles. Okay, I'm gonna speed things up again, put on some nice music. Incidentally, if you want this music, you can get it for free. You know, free is like my favorite word. Anyway, you can get it for free on this website. I don't really know these guys, but I do appreciate that I can download their songs for free. So I don't mind like promoting them a little bit. Okay, good enough like that. Next we are going to create the vines. Of course we start with a new layer called vines. I'm just going to use a color picker to pick the same green as I have for the grass. And I'm going to draw some vines on top of this empty layer. Note how I'm keeping the brick face tile visible. This is helping me to decide where to place the vines. Let's shade it and highlight it too. And of course, don't forget that we want this to be seamless. Let's add some flowers to add a nice little contrast in there, some highlights. So just like we did with the rockface tile, now we are going to create the left and the right of the vines. We duplicate the tile and then just rename it and erase the appropriate parts. In this way we can create the left and the right tile and the top and the bottom as well as all 4 corners. As usual, just play around with it, have fun with it, experiment a little bit, see what happens if I change this, see what happens if I change that. Okay, now that we're done, we're just gonna export it again into the same folder as we did before. And then we import these tiles in just the same way as we did before. Don't forget that I usually want to keep one set of tiles in my tiles layer. This is so that I will always have a backup of each of these tiles here. But even if I accidentally delete one of the tiles, I won't have to worry about the hassle of re-importing it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put these new tiles which I created onto the tile map. But when we start rearranging the vines, we bump into a small problem. It's quite hard when you're selecting the vines to distinguish between selecting the rockface tile and selecting the vines tile. So to solve that, I'm going to create another layer specifically for the vines. Then cut and paste the vine tiles to the new layer. And lock the tile map so we don't need to worry about accidentally clicking on it. So here we have some vines growing on top of our rock face. One good thing about using another layer is that we can even change the opacity of this layer. So if I think that these vines are a little overstated, I can just decrease the opacity to make them a little less obvious. So that's all from me for now. I hope you learned a lot. In the next video, we are going to learn how to export. And now it's your turn to get your creative juices rolling, if that even makes sense. Anyway, you make your own tiles and then incorporate them into your tile map. Have fun. See you in the next video. Bye bye.